No matter where you are in the world, CSL Dallas is here as your spiritual home. As a reminder, every day is a day for transformation, spiritual deepening, and heart connection, no matter what's going on. Every day we learn and practice something important that makes a difference. This month at CSL Dallas, we are answering the question, what it means to emerge, and how we can live from a place of abundance and gratitude. So let's get ready for today's celebration by putting your hands together for the CSL Dallas music team.
And it goes like this. Get great fun. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. For my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you, 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 say thank you, 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 thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to CSL Dallas. Great to see you here in the sanctuary. Great to be with you live streaming with us this morning. So happy to have the chance to be here together already the week before Thanksgiving. Amazing. Let us begin. Oh, first of all, I'm Joe Tinker. I'll be your platform assistant, kind of guiding you through a few announcements and what's coming up during the service today, and I'm very happy to do that. Also serve on your nominating corps, one of our corps. If you have any questions about what the nominating corps does, well, I'll be happy to answer them. Just holler at me and we'll have a chat. Let's begin today by saying our purpose statement together. At CSL Dallas, we are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives. And so it is. All right, do you have plans for Thanksgiving? Why not spend the day with our CSL Dallas community, celebrating the many blessings of our lives? This Thursday coming up, join us for a special Thanksgiving service. That'll be from 11 to noon on Thursday, and a delicious community potluck from noon to 2. CSL Dallas will provide the turkey and beverages, and you can bring sides and desserts, and you can sign up. That way you can let us know what you're bringing. This will be in Pankey Hall. Oh, you can sign up in Pankey Hall or in Barong Lounge, or you can go to csldallas.org/events, get signed up for Thanksgiving Day. That's this Thursday. And today we have a special sneak peek into December's Sunday mornings and special events. And here to tell you more is Dr. Petra.
Hey, thanks, Joe.
You bet.
All right, so, we love the holidays here at CSL Dallas, and we like to remember that there are many different reasons for celebrating the holidays. Some of the reasons we celebrate the holidays is because of our families and the cultures from which we come. Some of it is because we love the feasts and the storytelling, the music, and the experiences. A lot of it is because it's embedded in our culture to recognize that there are deep spiritual truths, ancient wisdom, that we continually have emerging over and over again in new ways, in today's new thoughts, new ideas, and new ways to experience our lives. So this year, we are going to explore the holidays a little bit differently, and we're really going to focus on this. What is the ancient wisdom that comes out of these specific holidays? And what is the new thought that we are being invited into? The first Sunday in December, we do something a little bit radically different. We call it our Blue Sunday, because while I am a holiday nut, and I love to decorate, and I love everything about the craziness of the holidays, not everybody does. Some of that, sometimes it's a habitual family experience. Other times it's situational from the particular year or season of our life that we're having, with loss or distance or reasons why we don't feel cheer. We don't feel like celebrating. So at Blue Holiday, we give ourselves permission to have our feelings. We give ourselves permission to acknowledge that sometimes we don't have the holiday spirit, or that it can be challenging. This isn't true for everybody, but it is actually true for some of us. And so we do a very special and sacred ritual the first Sunday in December, and you're invited to be here. You're invited to be online or in person. If this is something that you struggle with every year, let us be with you in that. If you don't, come and be the container, holding consciousness and in love those whom are challenged. And maybe we'll find a little more grace and compassion and not require everybody to be as cheerful as we are. So it's a really special Sunday. Then we're going to be celebrating Hanukkah and Bodhi Day in a whole new way. If you don't know what Bodhi Day is, you definitely want to be here with the second Sunday in December. The third Sunday in December, we'll be really exploring the emergence of light, and with the winter solstice, with pagan and Wiccan traditions, and really thinking about that deep ancient wisdom. On Sunday the 24th, Christmas Eve day, we have a blowout Christmas Eve celebration, fabulous music with our band and music team, an incredible opportunity for ritual. But it is Sunday Christmas Eve. That means, because we're celebrating in the evening, there are no activities Sunday morning the 24th. Do not come. You will find the doors closed. Get your last minute shopping in, right? All of those of you who wait till the 23rd and 24th, you will have Sunday morning to go shopping. So there will be no class, no celebration, no Joy Village, no practitioners. The doors will be closed. Is it clear? Are we being clear? Very clear. Crystal clear. We'll be reminding you. Only Sunday evening. There will be child care for the 5 and unders, for the littles. The older ones we'd love to have in the celebration. It's a beautiful, beautiful celebration. Candy and I and Michael Gott are writing a new song for it, which is very exciting. So you don't want to miss out on that. It will be live streamed, of course. And then we'll have cider and cookies and fellowship afterwards. And we wrap up with celebrating the light of community in Kwanzaa, our last Sunday. And again, feeling how that ancient wisdom has moved through the whole month and brought us to a very contemporary understanding of the light in community and how important that is. And don't forget the burning bowl the next day, Monday, January 1st at noon, we do our burning bowl. We burn up 2023 and we get it over our shoulder, all that stuff we don't want to take with us. And then we really look forward to 2024. We'll announce, share the theme for the year and do some lovely rituals around that to get us set up. So it's a whole host of opportunities for us to be in community together and celebrate together. So please do join us. The other thing I want to let you know and remind you about is we did put out an email the other day about staff updates. So we want to let you know about staff updates. If you did not receive the email, if you're on our mailing list and you didn't receive it, please check spam check your spam and junk for csldallas.org and for fellowship1.com. A lot of our emails come from fellowship1.com, and if you're not getting them in your inbox, check your spam and junk. And you need to bring it into your inbox so that you'll make sure you're getting all of our communications. So we do want to let you know that Reverend Patty is semi-retiring. What that means is she's just tired of all the office stuff. The details, the scheduling, it's like, okay, I've done this long enough. She's been with us for years and years and years. And so she's semi-retiring, and she is releasing the operational and administrative activities for small group ministries and for Sunday production. So we're going to invite the lovely and talented Faye Lahoma Faye Abdus-Salam here. So Faye has been under Patty's tutelage here for a little bit, and she's going to step in and handle Sunday production. Faye is one of our practitioners, spiritual coaches. She's also in her last year of ministerial school. And so, yes, so she has been stepping in and will continue to step in. So all things, if you're a greeter, if you're part of the host team, anything having to do with Sunday production, tables, all that good stuff, please communicate with Faye at csldallas.org. Anything having to do with small groups, circles, sanghas, or home study groups, please communicate with me. Patty, you will see her when she's in town, and when she feels well enough and strong enough, you will see her here on Sundays. She's available for prayer. She's spiritual mind treatment. She's available for coaching. She is, after all, the heart of our community, is she not? Yeah, that spiritual heart we cannot do without. And so her presence will be felt. She's working with me on rituals and celebrations for 2024. She's going to be very involved in some of those things. She's also very much involved in our democracy and advocacy initiative. So she's not going anywhere. She's just not going to work so hard. And so we're really happy about that, and we're really grateful for Faye. Yay. Yay. Thank you. And so the other staff update is that Lauren McGregor is leaving us as of the 3rd of December. She has found a lovely job, a step up for her at a recovery not-for-profit that is in the DFW area, and is, of course, able to make a little more money and have better benefits than we can provide her here. She's a young woman, and that is important to her and her future. So we will have an opportunity on the 3rd of December to celebrate her, have a cake. We'll have opportunities for writing thank you notes, all of that good stuff. And we'll keep you posted on how we're going to handle all that workload and that job. In the meantime, anything having to do with communications, you can communicate with either me or Ryan. Anything having to do with the calendar, you can communicate with Carmen, calendar building. And if you've got that email, it tells you, who you can communicate to for different things. This is, in fact, what we do. We help grow people, and then they fly off and blossom. I had the opportunity to be with Michael Gott and the board of Unity of Houston just this last Friday. They're doing amazing work down there as well. Somebody who, we grew and flew, and he's doing amazing work down there in Houston. And so it is our privilege and pleasure to tithe people to the community, just as we tithe to our not-for-profit partners, which you will hear about later today. Last bit of information. Today, you have an opportunity to ask questions. If you're in the room, we're gonna grab one of these microphones, and you're gonna get to come up here and ask a question about CSL Dallas, about the philosophy, about how to practice it in your own life. If you are online, we'd love for you to put your questions in the chat, and we'll use those to answer those questions on our Facebook page and other ways in which we can respond. But this is your opportunity. We'll have a nice little window for you to ask your questions, and I will do my best to provide some useful answers, spiritually grounded and hopefully inspirational. All right, so we're going to let Joe continue on, and here we go.
I'm still here. That was great, Dr. Petra. Glad to have all that information. You know you can always get updated at csldallas.org, so take advantage of our robust website to stay on top of everything. And now, whether you just heard all that like for the first time, or maybe the second time ever of being around CSL Dallas, or if you've been coming here for decades, we love being in community with you, whether you're online, whether you're with us here in person. This is great, and everything that Dr. Petra talked about, these are the times that we share with one another and the way that we build community, and we're glad that you are a part of that. Now, one of the things that you might consider doing is staying in the know by following us on social media. You can leave us a Google review. You can sign up for our weekly newsletter. Looky here. You can fill out one of these Connect cards there at the back of the sanctuary. If you're not already getting the email, she talked about text messages and updates on information about the center. Fill out a Connect card. And that way you'll stay in touch with us and know about everything that's coming up at CSL Dallas. Now, let's get on with this celebration. We will settle into this morning with our music team. We've got Candy, Jerry, Val, Cleo, and Glenda today, and we will have wonderful centering with our practitioner, Tina. Thank you.
one power, one presence, one life. Remembering that we are all made from one formless substance. I know that each and every one of us is a unique expression, a divine presentation of this one eternal life. There is an inner presence in everything. And in everything is active, alive, aware, and awake in this presence. This is the divine pattern in our beings. We are always surrounded by love, by peace, by wisdom, and by right action. We live our lives in joy and harmony, knowing that we are love, we are peace. We are peace. And everything we do, we say, and we think is the reflection of our divinity. We experience our humanity in the realization of our divinity. And the divine spirit is operating through each and every one of us right in this moment, and will be forever. This is our truth. I know and I affirm this truth. And please join me to affirm this truth by saying together, and so it is.
To your
into the world, yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not cry. You see this pretty thing right here? Miss Jerry has been with us for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And so now she gets to take this powerhouse of beauty and kindness back to her home of Philadelphia. And so let's send her off with love and gratitude. Yeah. Would you stand, please? We're going to sing a grateful song for her. Here we go. 1, 2. And we are grateful, grateful for all you do and all you give and everything you are. And we are grateful, grateful for all you do and all you give and everything you are. So that's why I didn't get the makeup on, I guess. Spirit in all things. Breathe, girl. Breathe.
And they're making me do a solo now. Help me.
One, 2, 3, 4.
Up from my feet, I call the healing power. Up from my feet, I draw it to my heart. It's already here. I only need to claim it. Up from my feet, I know that I am healed. I am healed. In through my hands. It's already here. I only need to claim it. Back to the earth. I know that I am here. 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 I know that I am here.
Can I grab your microphone? Thank you. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you to our beautiful music team and to Brad, Jonathan. Oh, I was going to say and Matt, but that's not the case. Mike. I was like, oh. Thank you so much. Yes, we regularly tithe people to the universe and keeps the whole thing healthy and alive as it circulates. And we're so grateful for all the new people who have been joining us as well, whether online and also here in person. And it's a wonderful thing that we do here. So this is our opportunity to ask questions. So Jamie, I have the yellow mic up here. And so we're going to invite you to come up here and ask a question because, of course, the people who are online would also like to see your lovely face and hear whatever question you might have. So to think about if there's something that, or it doesn't even have to be a question. It can be a topic you'd like me to address, something that you want me to talk about, again, in terms of the philosophy, the science of mind, how we practice it, those sorts of things. So I'm going to give you a second to think about it. Come up here, stand up here. We'll create a little line. Hopefully there'll be a line of people who want to ask something. And so come on over here and start it over here. I do want to say to you that we do have a visiting minister here, Reverend Casey Taylor. So Reverend Casey Taylor. Reverend Casey has a focus ministry, Spirit Uncensored, that works with young adults. She was instrumental in the Next Gen retreat that we had young adults, we had 8 young adults go to just recently, and she's been in Oklahoma. And so it's really lovely to have you in the house. Thank you so much. Great. All right, so please do say your name so that everybody knows who you are, and just carry on. Hi, Randy.
So I've got this dilemma about the world that works for everyone, and how do I make space for those that are radically opposed to my philosophy, and their stated philosophy is basically to eradicate people and persuasions of my philosophy.
That is a great question. So we could begin in a number of different places to answer that question because it's important. It's an important question. First, I want to start with what we don't want to do. And we don't want to misunderstand that acceptance of every human being means that we accept every thought or action of a human being. Yes? Right. It can be very challenging to be unaccepting of someone's activities and practice true unconditional love, which means recognizing that each and every human being has value and they have a place in life, and they, like us, are doing the best they can to express life and love as they understand it. But a world that works for everyone is by definition in alignment with a life that is for life. And so our fundamental ethic is do no harm. It's a little hard to always know the unintended consequences of things, right? Sometimes we do harm inadvertently. It also is sometimes hard to understand that sometimes something that feels harmful we do in service to someone we love, like say no, right? So we can roll that off as a platitude, but it's not necessarily the simplest thing to live. Neither is unconditional love. So I believe that we are not required to accept every thought, every belief system. We are not required to accept it if we truly believe and see that it is doing harm. Our job is to hold the vision of a world that means that works, that means that the way in which people take up their philosophies, their belief systems, and their ways of being in the world are always for life and don't actually intend harm. There's many ways in which we can act on that. We can choose not to have certain conversations. We can choose not to engage with certain people. We have that right. We can choose to speak our truth with as deep a conviction as we hear others speak for things that we believe are harmful. The most important thing is that we must choose to participate in creating a world that works. It's not enough to wish that other people would stop doing what they're doing. Is it easy? I'm not sure anything about the spiritual path is easy. Takes diligent thought, diligent effort, a heartfelt recognition that we really are all one. And it's okay for me to say, no, you can't do that in my house. This is my house. You can't do that here. This is my family. And no, you can't do that to any one of us. Not just this family, not just this family. This is my family. And the answer is no, you can't do that. Do you see? And so these are important questions. Now, do I feel like you have to convince the person that they're wrong? No. You don't want them to convince you that you're wrong. That's called treating someone how you want to be treated. Right? If there's a willingness and an openness for listening, of course you can have a conversation. But it starts with my faith teaches me, as opposed to you're wrong, or bannering around scripture passages to prove to you that I'm right and you're wrong. My faith teaches me to see it this way. My spiritual walk teaches me to see it that way. And I will not support, give money to, or vote for things that are out of alignment with what I believe is the way that we create a world that works for everyone. Now, do I know everything there is to know about how to create a world that works for everyone? No. Could it be that there are things that you're doing that I don't like that might be part of making a world that works for everyone? Could be. As long as you're not doing harm. I don't have to know all the answers. I just have to do my part. It's a brilliant question. We should be asking these questions. There are not, we do ourselves and the people around us and the challenges of our nation, we do them a disservice when we give lip service to an easy answer. These are heartfelt answers, and each one of us do, in fact, have to navigate this with loved ones, family members, people in our communities, and people who are actively advocating for things that we believe are harmful or out of alignment with our teaching. This is why we have a democracy and advocacy initiative now. Why shouldn't we advocate just as powerfully for what we believe helps create a world that works for everyone? Yes? Yeah, thank you. All right, so please come on up here, Reverend Casey.
I appreciate it. Good morning, y'all. I am such a fan of this community and grateful for that answer, because as a minister, I get it all the time, and that do no harm and being for life is something I'm absolutely taking back with me for my ministry. One of the reasons I'm here is because the Friendsgiving Young Adult Circle occurred yesterday, and I drove up for that. And this community does such an incredible job, I believe, of supporting, nurturing, and encouraging young adults. The Young Adult Circle here is thriving in comparison to CSLs across the country. And as I reviewed the 2024 goals, I noticed there's a lot of pictures of the young adult community, but I didn't see anything around intentionally investing. I know the community is supportive, but wondered if there are any initiatives around supporting, encouraging, investing in the young adult movement within this community.
That is a great question. Thanks for asking that question. So we also want to say a huge shout out to Lauren, who is heading up our young adult program and is doing a fabulous job. Yes, really. So it's a great question. So our investment is in relationship to how much the young adult group wants to be invested in. So we're still in that conversation, right? Because it's a very much a two-way street, and so that's a conversation. We certainly have been supportive of the Next Gen retreat, and had they not been able to raise enough money in the way that they did, or had enough money in their funds, CSL Dallas would have paid for everything that was needed, and we continue to support in whatever way they choose, really, because we are not about to dictate what the young adult group should be doing or not doing. So thanks for that question. I mean, I can stand up here and start talking about whatever I think you need to hear. Come on up here.
Hi, I'm Kia.
Hi, Kia.
I have a question I'm looking for either a tool, a treatment, spiritual practice to do before I am put in a situation with family who I may have a dysfunctional, toxic relationship with.
Because the holidays are coming up?
Because I'm going home for the first time in 10 years.
Oh, wow. It's a great question. Let us surround you in love and light. Right? Yeah. And for all of us, it's a challenging thing. Don't you just wish people would just be the way you think they should be? So annoying. If they could just get a clue. It's a great question. So isn't the most ridiculous thing that doesn't matter how old you are, you walk into your house and you're instantly 12? It's just, you know, for me, for years and years and years, right? I was either 6 or 12 or 14. All those behaviors come forward, and then we take our place in the family system, don't we? Whatever our place is, the clown, the peacemaker, the quiet one, the one who always takes responsibility for everything, right? And we're just like instantly back in the family system. I think the answer is twofold, or let me say, not the answer, let me say the tools are twofold. The first one is to say to yourself, Kia Tillman, I am a grown-ass woman. I'm not 4 or 6 or 12 or 14. I'm a grown-ass woman or a grown-ass man or a grown-ass person, human being, who has decided to live a life a certain way, in a certain style, with a certain set of belief systems. And despite what anybody else thinks, including myself, I'm actually an adult. You laugh. I find this to be an enormously effective tool, because what we are doing is moving out of our family systems and moving out of our habitual ways of responding and reconnecting with the adult within us. And the adult within us is a doorway to the spiritual truth of who we are. So if I can get to that place of adult, then I can often get to that place of standing in my most deeply centered state. Sometimes that centered state seems very powerful. Other times it seems very peaceful. Sometimes it's very quiet. Other times it feels the need to speak, because truth needs to be spoken, at least the way that I see it. If everybody else is blasting out truth, then we get to do the same. But we also get to do it in the way that is in alignment with being an adult, and which is in alignment with being a spiritual being. Now, what will happen as you start doing this is the entire place will go crazy, because you're no longer playing by the rules. Yes. You will be confronted, called names, told you're not doing it right. What happened to you? What are you doing? Because you're not playing by the rules. And when you get those kinds of responses, celebrate. Because it means you're no longer playing by the rules of the system. You haven't fallen back in. You are trying to stand your ground, be centered, be yourself. I think that's the first piece of the tool. The second piece of the tool for me, and I really want you to hear this carefully, because I want us to be very careful that in our spirituality we don't become arrogant. But I noticed that the more willing I was to not fall into the patterns, the more I could see the patterns. And the more that I could see the patterns, the more compassion I had for people who were still locked in them. Because I know what that feels like, don't you? Oh my God, don't you know what it feels like? When you're afraid, trying to control everything, you got your mind racing, you want to make sure you're right, you got to make sure you're, and you want to, all that dysfunction and craziness, right? Those are coping skills that we all have from childhood, that we all created, however we created them from our families, right? And as we stand, not only in our psychological adult, but in our spiritual truth, the patterns within ourselves become more available to us. And we are learning how to take responsibility for them without shame and blame. Yes? And so we give the same gift to others without shame and blame. And when we can do it without shame and blame, my experience is that all of a sudden my compassion is activated, because I remember what that feels like. Yeah, an hour ago, right? Yesterday, I was there. 2 days ago, a month ago, a year ago. Not in an arrogant, oh, look at how spiritual I am. I'm so much more spiritual. Could you just grow up? Right? We want to be really clear. That is not compassion. Compassion is a recognition that we've been in that same hole. And we've been in that same swirl, and we know how uncomfortable it is. We know how difficult it can be. We know how painful it can be. We know how much projection can come out of it, and we know how much denial can come out of it. Why? Because we've done it ourselves. And now compassion is available. The last tool I would say, so that helps me listen patiently, be in the room, not get hooked, not get involved. When I get involved or when I get hooked, then I have to have compassion for myself. Oh, look, there you went. You were 12. Oops. Oh, no, no, no. That was not good. Breathe, center, recenter, right? And then the last tool that I would give you that I found to be extraordinarily beneficial with my father, who died an alcoholic, rageaholic, angry, and bitter old man, who I had learned to fall in love with a whole different way as an adult, using these very tools I'm sharing with you. The last piece of it that was really important, that took me a long time to understand, was the creating of my own boundaries of safety. And so boundaries aren't about what you'll do. Boundaries are about what I'll do. That was like a monumental revelation, because I wanted it to be for you to change, right? So I managed to navigate. I can stay this long with my father when I visited him. I can engage for a conversation with this period of time. That's about as long as I can hold my center. And then I'm going to have to get up. I'm going to go to the restroom. I'm going to go to get the kitchen. I'm going to say I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to gently close whatever tirade is happening, and I'm going to exit. I also know that by 8 o'clock, I was tired enough, and enough alcohol had been drunk that, we were on a slippery slope. And so at 8 o'clock, I would go to my room. I read my book. I just quietly, gently, no, I'm going to my room because you are so dysfunctional. No. Just, I'm going to just take some time for myself, and I'll see you in the morning. Go to my room, read my book, hang out, be quiet, recenter myself, breathe, so that I could be present the next day. And we get to do that. So part of our yes to other people includes a no that creates safety and boundaries for us. Did I say that in a way that made sense? If I'm really going to allow somebody to be exactly who they are, hear that arrogance. I'm allowing you to be exactly who you are. So let us rephrase that. If I'm going to really work to not have judgment about who you are, that's going to be work. And so then I get to say, okay, I need a break. I need a breather. And so we have to take those because we're grown-ups. And if somebody is a little miffed about that, well, I have a dear friend who says they can get mad, they can get glad in the same pants they got mad in. Going home to your family at the holidays could be one of the deepest spiritual practices that is available to us. And if you take it up like that, you will not only survive, you will thrive. And eventually, over enough period of time, your family will be interested in what's happening to you. They will be very curious. Thanks for that question. Okay, we have a comment here, or topic, or...
So my name's Aisha. I've been blessed to, grow up in these teachings, go to camp my whole life. But as I'm getting older, I have never called my mom so much and cried. Like, the older I'm getting, I feel like almost the less I know. And just turning 24, I literally feel like in this world, I'm almost like going through cycles and periods of just doing the same thing over and over again, and then it's like one step forward, 2 steps back. And especially in the worlds we're in, it's almost really hard to like keep your head above water. So when you kind of get in that cycle, in that same space of just constantly, like doing the same thing and feeling kind of below the water, are there essentially things that kind of like connect you back to knowing it's all growth? The older you get, the better it does get, hopefully.
It's a great question. I'm sorry you're 24. My 20s were awful. Awful, 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 awful. And yet there was so much growth in 24 and the 20s. I found Science of Mind when I was 19. And I thought after I decided to become a minister, I graduated when I was 24 and decided to go, and I started my first community and was shocked to discover that I didn't know everything. Oh my gosh. I think that's really, truthfully, I'm completely truthful. I believe that that's what the 20s are about. I think that we become, we spend so much time from the time we are born developing our psyche, even though there's a kernel of us that knows who we are. We're developing our psyche. We're developing a healthy ego. We're developing who we are, and it's not yet developed yet. And so we're trying on different things. And we try on different behaviors, and we try on philosophies, and we try on things that we like or don't like. And they begin to coalesce into something, which is great, but we've only tried them on. I think what happens in our 20s is we go through the curriculum again, only now is it real? Is this really me? Is this what speaks to me? And we are moving through the same growth curriculum, but just at a different level, because we are actually now older. The executive functions are starting to come online, right? Between 24 and 28 is when we have our executive functions, our ability to really seriously prioritize critical thinking, not criticizing, critical exploration. And we do actually understand that the things we know to be true, we accepted uncritically, not criticizing, but unexamined. And so in our 20s, part of the reason why we feel like we don't know anything is because everything is being re-examined. I promise you that the 30s will be better. The 40s will be great. The 50s will be amazing. The 60s, you don't give a shit what anybody else thinks anymore. The 70s are like, wow, what is happening? There's something new. And we move into our sage, and the 80s are like, I am looking over the horizon. And there's so my mother told me every decade gets better. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. If you will stick to being curious, being willing to grow, being willing to learn, being willing to explore, and then to be willing to own the pieces that slowly but surely begin to settle in as this is actually something I know. I know it about myself. I know it about what's important to me. I know it about they begin to be for me, that's the way in which we are individuating spirit. Right? Because it's unique and precious and it's yours. And that, yeah. So I guess I want to give you a vision of what's possible. I know a lot of people that for the 20s is very challenging. And it's good you're doing this in your 20s, because if you don't do it in your 20s, that turns into that midlife crisis thing. And the not so pleasant midlife crisis thing, because we haven't really made friends with who we are. And we continue to carry the masks and the things that we've been trying on that we think we know. I could go on and on and on and on. I think teenagers and young adults are the most amazing people. I think it's the most amazing time. I think it's very, very, very unsettling. It needs to be unsettling. And there's so much there. So I hope that is a little bit helpful. I'm always here. And I know you've got lots of other people that are always here. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking now. Please.
were saying about the 20s, I'm 33, so there was something that just shifted. I did most of my spiritual work in my 20s and then kind of fell off the last few years, and I'm getting back on the wagon. I have a 1-year-old.
Wow. Congratulations. Tell me your name, please.
Yeah, Nini Sterling.
Hi, Nini.
Yeah. Birth name is Janine, but go by Nini. So I have a two-faceted question. And it's interesting because one of the facets you kind of touched on with the boundary, with the self thing. But it's about having multiple disabilities, physical and mental, then also having, I guess, more responsibilities than one can actually, like, take care of mindfully. And so everything kind of falls apart. And the question's two-faceted because let me start with one facet. I know that some of the beliefs here and also other places that I've been talk a lot about neuroplasticity and positive thinking and things like this. And I've read You Are the Placebo. I've read a lot of books, gone to a lot of things. But, you know, in the end, I do have these disabilities. And one of the reasons that I took a while to come here, because I thought about it when I was a bit younger, is that I was afraid that, like everyone else, I was going to be told, you're not positive enough. You're not trying hard enough. You have to think this way. You have to think that way. And therefore, it becomes toxic positivity. It becomes like a guilt trip. And instead of by the regular religion, it's like, oh, you don't believe you're going to go to hell. It's like, oh, well, you're not doing this positively enough, so you're just hitting yourself. You know, this is your fault. And then you talked about boundaries, and I'm like, I realized for a long time I really wanted to control what other people said to me about my disability or about who I am. And in the end, like you were saying, you can only know who you are and have that internal locus of control.
Right.
So no matter what you say, even if you say, oh, to my other question, my two-faceted, I know that I have these disabilities, and I also know that that doesn't mean I can't change them, but they are going to be there.
So let's just stop right there.
Yeah.
Right? So I think what we have is a confusion about the difference between perfection and wholeness.
Yeah.
So you can be completely whole without being physically perfect. So we are only perfect on the absolute level. The minute the infinite has incarnated as the finite, it is already not perfect. But we are whole. We are wholly ourselves. Just the other day, so one of the things I've noticed recently is that my dyslexia has kicked in a big way because I feel like I'm under a lot of stress. So the more stressed I am, the more dyslexia kicked in. I used to find that challenging and embarrassing, and so I don't anymore. I just go, oh, that was my dyslexia. And somebody said, don't label yourself that way. And I said, no, I'm not labeling myself. I'm acknowledging so that I can make a different choice in the moment about how I'm going to proceed. Or I'm bringing to my own awareness, oh my God, that's what just happened. No wonder I'm confused, and I've confused everybody else in the room, right? So there's a difference between acknowledging what is and being not positive. Because acknowledging what is allows us to then say, well, now what? Well, one of the things, now what, is I'm very careful when I sort laundry. Because I go white, black, white, black, white, black, black, white, black, white, and I don't even know it. And all of a sudden I have a mess, right? So we learn to accommodate our physical, and I mean body, mind, and body, mind, the physicality of us, we learn to accommodate ourselves. We have years ago, we had a woman here in our community. She was in a car accident when she was 19. She severed her spinal cord and ended up in a wheelchair. And she spent 10 years trying to move her toe. And she believed that because she wasn't able to move her toe that she wasn't doing it right. And she had people say to her, if you were really spiritual and you were really doing this, you would move your toe and you would get up and walk. We don't do that here. We are not anybody else's thought or consciousness police. We do not police anybody else's consciousness. We police our own consciousness. What we give to others is love, right? Love and acceptance. And so, but ultimately, she discovered that she needed to give that to herself. And she decided all of that freaking spiritual mind treatment and work she was doing and consciousness and all of that to move her toe, she could actually use to have a full, rich, meaningful life. So she just decided, you know what? I'm in a wheelchair. It sucks. I hate it. I wish I weren't. And I'm in a wheelchair. And she was one of the most whole people I know. She neither defended or denied or put, it was just, this person happens to be in a wheelchair. This person happens to have certain disabilities, right? And that's what it means to be whole. We are wholly ourselves. We are Holy Spirit showing up in the world. And then we get to make whatever choices we can or are able to make in the management of that, right? And how we take it up. And some things we can change and some things we accept so that we can move on and have the life that we choose to have. So there's a lot of compassion that we have to give to ourselves. I have long learned I'm ridiculously socially awkward. I am very uncomfortable with people. I'm hugely introverted. I'm intimidatingly smart, and I've just had to make peace with all of these things. And I just as soon, crawl under a rock if I need to be a certain way that's not that. And I've had to make peace with all of those things. And I've had to find my strengths and my gifts and let them be what shines. That's what I think it means to be positive, not toxic. Oh, I always have to be cheerful, and I always have to think everything's perfect, and I always have to think it's going to be different. No, it's being compassionate and seeing our own wholeness and doing with what we have, giving it all to life, doing what we can with it, and loving ourselves exactly and precisely the way we are. Because I think that is life showing up as you, whole, perfect, and complete, just the way you are. Thank you for your question. Thank you. All right, so we are way, way over time. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your patience and for your care. I'm happy to talk with you afterwards. Super, super love to do this with all of you. I'm always available to do these kinds of things, you know that. And so I think I need to stop talking now, Joe. Come rescue me.
Thank you, Dr. Petra, and thank you, everyone that had questions. Appreciate your participation. Let's ask our greeters to please come forward. It's time now when we're going to make good on pledges, or we're going to make a special gift today to support this work at CSL Dallas, because as you know, we are a self-supporting organization. So let us just remember, too, that as we give, so do we receive, and this is the opportunity to prove to ourselves that we always have more than enough to share and to spare. We invite you to give generously to the work, and the law of circulation multiplies these gifts today back to you and to so many others as well. Let's begin by affirming our abundance together. I trust in the law of good. I know the law is bringing every good to me and to everyone. I know this law of good operates through CSL Dallas and our community. We are thriving and are a blessing to the world. And so it is. Thank you. There are many ways to give. Please, there's text giving, Venmo, PayPal, auto tithing, or using the baskets that are being passed around today. Pick the option that works best for you. And if you'd like to make a cash donation and you'd like to receive a tax benefit, you can write your name on the donation envelope that's in the basket being passed around. So take a moment to do that, and we will send you a receipt for that. Immediately following Sunday celebration today, it's available to you that you can receive a free spiritual support session with one of our licensed spiritual coaches. If you're on campus, you'll head right across the breezeway to the Peace Room. And for those of you online, there's a link to a Zoom hookup for you there in the chat box being posted right now. You know, you can also fill out a spiritual support request. If you don't have time for an in-person session, we have these forms here in the sanctuary. There are some in the alcove right to my left. Fill out a spiritual support form request and put that in the box, and we will take care of that as well with our fabulous practitioners. Now today we have a special treat for you and all the youth in Joy Village. eQuest have brought some adorable miniature horse friends with them to help in celebrating our continued partnership. You'll be able to meet the horses by heading right out to the breezeway. And pledgers to CSL Dallas, you pledgers have selected eQuest as one of our 2023 nonprofit partners, and our collective donation each year helps support this amazing organization and what it does. And here now to tell you more about it are Chris and Christine.
Hello, I'm Chris Gallant, part of the Community Service Steering Committee here at the center. And Christine, on behalf of the donors to CSL Dallas, I'm happy to present this check to eQuest, our 2023, well, one of our 2023 nonprofit partners. So this check is for $5,194.77. So in order for you to see a little bit more about how eQuest brings hope and healing to children and adults that have diverse needs, we have a short video for you.
And the reason Christine is receiving it is because Christine works at eQuest. Cindy Thomas worked for many years at eQuest, and the founder of eQuest, Susan Schwartz, is a longtime member of our community. So we love supporting eQuest.
From the moment our clients walk through the door at eQuest, whether they are 2 years old or 90 years old or somewhere in between, the power of the human-horse connection gives them hope.
We have a 6-year-old little girl named Annabelle. She has Down syndrome.
Cruz was initially diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder.
We started noticing some developmental delays with Frances when she was around 6 months old.
Because Aya was diagnosed with a rare disease called Prader-Willi syndrome, and she has like a low muscle tone.
When Roe was about 35 weeks in utero, he had a stroke that resulted in cerebral palsy.
A completely fine pregnancy up until 24 weeks, and I woke up and had just like a weird feeling, and my water broke, and they were delivered within 2 hours at 24 weeks. So emergency C, no real understanding why.
When Lily was 15 months old, she had a non-fatal drowning accident, which left her totally non-verbal, non-mobile. Essentially, she died and came back to life.
And so we were looking for opportunities to just help him develop and grow.
Being a registered nurse myself and working with pediatric patients, I was aware that there was hippotherapy, horse therapy.
I did a lot of research about how to strengthen her muscles, and I found out that with the horse therapy or hippotherapy is the best therapy for her.
When Lyric first came here, of course, you know, an animal that size, you know, of course she was a little scared.
We were a little apprehensive at first to know how she would do with all the sensory that comes with it, and it's been just like a complete natural connection for her.
We have found that therapies are helping Lily the most.
When we first started coming to eQuest, it was mainly to help with ambulation.
Within the first couple of weeks on the horse, he was really engaging. He was picking up rings, he was putting them on poles.
This is helping her move, and she's learning how to sit upright, grab on the reins, and kind of control the outcome.
Last week, she was able to ride on the horse for 10 minutes straight without needing a break. She's sitting up better. She's doing more of the work herself.
Her core strength has greatly increased. Her balance, her confidence.
When he gets on that horse, he's different. His body relaxes.
She wasn't saying a word when we started, and I think it's all has to do with the way her muscles are activated while being on the horse.
He's able to now listen, understand, comprehend, and take that in, and then follow the instructions. And then also he's able to give the commands in confidence.
Well, from the PT standpoint, I can look at all the motor, the strengthening, the balance. But what I love most of all, and I think the parents see, is the confidence and the self-esteem and even the value that these kids start getting in themselves. Because I mean, you've got this creature that's huge, and when they start figuring out, like, I'm riding this, I'm controlling this. Maybe these kids are in wheelchairs all day, and so their level of perspective is from here. So now I'm up here and I'm big and I'm tall and I'm bad.
Like, there's nothing like seeing your child feel proud and confident and sit tall on top of that horse and just know that he feels good about it.
He loves riding. He's gained a ton of confidence.
The moments they put her on the horse, she was happy. And I think she connected the right way. She just loves it.
She loves Bob, her horse, and talks about him all week.
As you know, horses are expensive animals, and it wasn't something that I was going to be able to afford for me or my son.
We heard about eQuest through actually another military family, so we're active duty military.
And I found out that they had a Hooves for Hero program.
For veterans and their families, the program was free.
Which is an incredible gift. For her, this is fun. This is not another arduous therapy that she has to do. She is gaining control and working on strengthening while not even realizing it. She gets to play.
Even though they're working really hard, they don't really think in their minds that it's such a therapy session, and we typically don't call it that.
She's walking, she understands, she's intelligent, she's smart, and she's happy. And I feel the more help I provide her, the more independent she would be.
Horses have their own ability to help, and I think they have their own level of understanding. And maybe it's just size, but there's something in their eye and in their energy that just when you're with them, something exchanges that's not words.
eQuest has been a blessing to Lyric and my family, and it is definitely facilitated her growth.
And we think this is ultimately going to help her move more and be more independent and be able to walk and develop those gross motor skills and fine motor skills that are important.
And I think that she's going to walk and talk again, and I think eQuest is part of that puzzle.
She works really hard and she needs some wins throughout her week for sure, and this is the place for it.
Thank you so very much for supporting our mission at eQuest.
Yes, thank you to everyone. We love your support here at the center and in all the ways that we can support eQuest and other like-minded nonprofits. Remember, there are only 2 more Sundays when you can check out Val Guillon's artwork at Wearable Art. She's at the back of the sanctuary now, but get over to Pankey Hall and take a look at her beautiful display. And if you're here on campus, be sure to stop by. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Now let us close out our time together one more time with our amazing music team.